When should I buy Flesh and Blood? When should I sell my cards? How do I make the most money in this? Can I make it my business? Can I invest in it? I just want to play the game, but I don't want to pay too much and lose all the value for everything that I just bought. There are so many questions that all boil down to how do we time the market? And unfortunately, most of us aren't very good at it. It's going to take some time to go through this, so if you're looking for a 5-minute conversation, you're probably never going to time the market very well. Stick around. Welcome back to Master Set Madness. It's Master Set Madness. You're back at it. We are looking at the absolute worst wrapping that I have ever seen in a case. It's just all bubbly and funny and falling off, some of them. So let's find out as we do this. Did we actually get real boxes or some strange fake repack from Amazon or somewhere? Don't worry, I didn't buy these from Amazon. But we're back at Master Set Madness here. We are on case number 18, which means we are opening boxes number 69 through 72. It's been a while, guys, so let's see if I could figure out how these cards go again here. We still have 6 cards left to complete our set. And yes, like I said in the beginning, we are going to be talking about timing the market today. We will get there. We will get there. Just a reminder, though, we are trying to, here on Master Set Madness, collect a complete... Where's the foil? That doesn't even look like a foil. We're trying to complete a complete master set from opening booster packs. That means, of course, we're trying to get one of every single card in every single variant that you can get from a booster box. Not the promos. We'd be opening this forever. And so we're continuing our little game here, our goal here. We've only got a few weeks before Dynasty. And of course, that means a lot of people are thinking about buying and selling cards, right? They're wondering, should I be moving my cards right now? Should I be trying to pick up more? What's going to be good when Dynasty comes out? Are all these cool new equipment going to actually change something? Oh, sad, take the tempo. Or is it not going to do anything? Well, time will tell. I'm not going to have every answer like that for you, but I do want to talk about timing the market today. And before we fully dive into that, I think I have to switch these piles because they're backwards from normal. Remind you again, those 6 cards we're looking for a Rainbow Foil Majestic Liquify. We are looking for an Extended Art Phoenix form, a Cold Foil Tiger Strike Shuko, a Marvel Ash, a Marvel Miragai, and last but definitely not least would be that Cold Foil Fabled Blood of Drakai. We are on halfway through box 69 here, and we haven't hit a lot of good things lately. The last couple videos have given us nothing towards our progress. But without ado, timing the market. Did you have to wait long enough to get started into that? Timing the market. Step number 1 is you gotta have patience, right? If you don't have patience to time the market, then you're not going to time the market. It's just not gonna work. Sorry. So, what I like to do actually, I think the first thing is before you figure out, there's no one simple answer, unfortunately, for how you time the market and get the best deal for cards. Because the first question is really, well, what is your goal with timing the market, right? What do you want to do? Are you just a player, right? And are you a player who just wants to get the cards right away? You need to play them right away. Maybe there's an event you're trying to get to quickly. Maybe you want to do a lot of testing with things, but you prefer testing in person and not with, cards generated on a screen, a tabletop simulator or something like that. Or are you the kind of player who doesn't really care when you get the cards? You kind of just want the cards for the best price possible because you're just playing at home anyways. And if you wait a while, it doesn't really matter to you. Or are you a seller, right? Are you somebody who's trying to make a business by selling singles that you open from your shop, things that you buy and sell? Are you a seller who's trying to just do straight up flipping. So all you do is you buy and you sell cards from other people. Maybe you don't actually have a store or an LGS. You're buying things off the marketplace with the hopes that you're timing it right. And we're getting really great prices from people to flip it. As you could say, a true timer of the market. Or are you an investor? Are you an investor? Where you're looking for the long run, right? You're going to hold it for years. You want the best cost basis, but you're not planning on moving anything anytime soon. Unless, of course, the opportune moment arises. We are here at the end of, oh my goodness, sorry, this pile's talking too much. Not looking at the piles as much on the screen here. Yeah, we're here at the end of box 1. Box number 69. We got 1 pack left in it. And in a race face, that's it. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, and a terrible cold foil heat wave. Rough, rough, rough box. So step number 1 for timing the market. Opened these boxes a few months ago, right? See, look at this, kind of just janky. I don't know. Oh, guys, I knew. You know, we got lucky in the last couple cases. Go back and watch those if you haven't. But with the way markets are right now, you could definitely lose a lot of money opening this. And honestly, if you're not doing Master Set Madness, I probably wouldn't suggest it, right? It wouldn't be my number 1 advice of investment. So anyways, I gave you those 3 things: player, seller, investor. Of course, there's probably some other things I'm not thinking about, or ways you could be looking at it. That's just kind of a general 3 things. And so if we think about just a release cycle, kind of a standard release cycle, no funny shenanigans, supply's fine, there's plenty of product for people to get. There's not so much that everybody's, you know, fire selling it or just trying to get it out the door as fast as possible. It's a regular release cycle, okay? So again, we're thinking about timing the market. And you've got these 3 different, I guess, personas, you could say. Stilettos. Pretty, but we don't need it. It's Master Set Madness, we're going quick. And so kind of the first part of this this release cycle is going to be your pre-release, right? So that's your time prior to when you can actually get the stuff on the market. Prices are generally at the highest at this point. People don't know where the price is going to land on cards. So if you're a store and you're doing pre-orders on it, well, what are you going to do, right? You're going to put the price high, see if people are going to pay for it. And as people don't pay for it, or as more comes to supply, the price will come down eventually. But here, so the reason why, you know, 1, people don't know what the price should be on things, but 2, there's the lowest supply. You can't just walk into a store and get it. But for some people, it feels good to pre-order it, lock it in, make sure they get this certain card and they get it on day 1. So prices are pretty high at pre-release. Release hits, of course, and prices begin to fall. They don't. Well, they can tumble quite a bit on release day. Releases, of course, the actual day, the first day the cards are physically out there for people to get and grab from stores. Man, nothing going on here, guys. Halfway through box 2. Release day, you know, some people would maybe argue on this, but release day is really kind of when the highest demand comes out for a product, right? Because you've been sitting here, you've been having these ghostly touches come around as you're watching all the preview seasons, and you're thinking, oh, I really, really want to get that ghostly touch. I'm super excited about it. Day 1, there it is. Boom, I'm going to crack some boxes to try and get it. Or I'm going to run to my store. They've already done that for me. Grab it before anybody else does. I want it now, right? I want it now. Demand is super, super high at release. And it's not just, you know, part of it's the first day that you could get it. You know, kind of bottlenecks everything. But it's also because that's when it's the most fun, right? Like, it's more fun to go and get something when everybody else is excited about it. It's new. You haven't seen any of these cards in person yet. Like, the demand is there. If it's a good product, demand is there. And of course, what also happens though with that demand and all the people who get crazy and buying stuff is there's a lot of people within that release 24-hour window who they bought a bunch of stuff, they realized they bought too much, or they just see they don't want some of the things they got, or especially if they got some expensive things that aren't what they like, they try to move it, right? So people start to move things really quickly. That release weekend, things move. Things move quick. Spreading Flames, another majestic rainbow foil that we do not need. We don't need that. Right, so releases moving, prices are coming down because things are available. After release, you have the week afterwards where it's again very similar to release day. A lot of people want it. A lot of people are trying to get it. Demand is high, but more and more sellers are coming to market. I should say more and more non-store sellers are coming to market, trying to move it. A lot of pressure comes down on the prices. Then you have, of course, a little bit of a post-release time, and you can choose how you want to, label it or define that exactly. But the high prices, again, we're talking in general, not for every single specific card, but the high prices are gone, right? As long as there's supply, good supply, which is what we're assuming, those high prices are gone. They're probably not coming back. From a broader sense, again, we're talking everything. This is the last pack of box 2. Last pack of box 2, and we'll keep going here. Old Vipox and the old Bobble, right? Crack Bobble, come on. Really, really rough. Look at this. Is this resealed? Am I just getting the jank? I don't actually think it's resealed. But I am surprised because I haven't seen anything this bad yet from this set, from all the different cases. Get some brain freeze out of here. You are not helping. Where are we at? So we're talking about post-release. Again, high prices are gone, but it doesn't mean things have crashed. It doesn't mean that you're down and out. Conduit of Frostburn. Frostburn. I don't even want to see those things. I don't know what's going on over here. Only a ghostly touch. And then sometime, in this post-release time, you're going to have your first big event that comes up. When that happens, depending on what happens at it, prices are going to move, right? Some people are going to be excited, trying to pick up the new hot stuff that made the top best deck. They're going to want to get that up. Other people are going to see, wow, these other new cards are not very useful. They're not doing very well. Let's move it. Let's get it out now while we can before too many people try and do that. And things start to move, right? Nothing. Ooh, we need to get that fabled full foil. We need something here. So, prices keep moving. Big events. Hopefully in a new set there's some things that are really good and popping in it that people want to buy. Really rough if it ends up being that doesn't really do much. People just want to play the old things because there's not a huge effect on it. And then you get to the kind of the 2 to 3 months in, or with Flesh and Blood sometimes a little bit later like we are now, and Invoke the Mai. Wow, unfortunately maybe the most valuable card we've opened so far. Is that focusing on you? Come here. Pretty card. If you've been here long enough, you've seen a few too many of these. Hit that 2 to 3 month mark, and let me tell you what, cards like Ghostly Touch, they are not very valuable anymore. Most people at this point in the cycle, most of the people who want these cards have these cards. Most of the people do. And a lot of people who have had them have kind of decided, I don't really need it anymore, and they move on from it. Or they've done Master Set Madness And they realize they got far too many of different things, and so they just got to move it out so that they can buy and open more boxes and help the system keep going down. Keep going down. Anyways, like I said, you get this point, and of course there are some cards, right? Somebody's figured out, wow, great in the deck. Let's keep that moving. Everybody wants to try and get it, but generally things are moving down. It's pretty low. The new set starts to be spoiled. Things start to come out for that, and at that point, you've kind of hit the end of your general cycle during that pre-release. You know, a lot of people are looking at the stuff. They're saying, okay, so how much do any of the new cards affect anything from the previous set? Should I be trying to pick up anything? This is where you get a lot of speculation. People see a new bow come out, a new headpiece come out, a new whatever come out, and they think, okay, yep, I gotta grab all the old stuff to make that work, or howdy doo-dah, and all that stuff. And then there's other people who just hit that point and think, well, I need to make some money for these new things. And again, they sell what they bought too much of from their old stuff or stuff they've decided they just don't like. Prices generally, in general, kind of push down. And then new set comes out. Whole cycle starts again. Of course, Insidious Chill. That one's actually worth a couple of dollars. Was it like 10 or something? TCG player? Could have been worse. Though, I mean, I don't know. This is pretty bad so far. We're on track for the worst case ever opened on our channel. Need to start an uprising there, I think. The cycle keeps going. You know, and then just with general, the farther away you get from a set, again, in general, the prices keep going down on individual cards, except for those that become, you know, major staples that don't get reprints or don't get kicked out from other decks. So, you know, things like Command and Conquer have held up pretty well up to this point, but we'll see pretty soon. We'll probably see pretty soon some movement on that, one way or the other. Okay, Laura, oh, Thaw, you are so pretty. Did you see? Not many of you watched my last video. Come on, go back and watch it. Top 10 art in Uprising. Thaw, it's up there. It's up there. Just go back and watch it. Even if you don't care about the art and you just want to time the market, go give it a play. Go give it a play. Semblance, Cinch, Foil. Ooh, man. Not good here. And so, and then of course, like end of the cycle, I guess for some cards is when rotation happens, right? So Living Legend status. It's a little different in Flesh and Blood because it's not like a whole set just goes out at the same time. But if some of the bigger, more valuable cards, again, not necessarily get removed, but the character that was using them gets removed, and then they're not as needed anymore. That, of course, has a big effect on that. So that's a long description of a cycle and a box 3. Last box, number 4. This is what I was telling you about. Like, I don't know, what is this? What? It was in a sealed case. What happened within the case to make this happen? I don't know. Nor do I know why I actually needed the knife, since it was already ripped open. And so none of all that conversation that I just shared with you takes into consideration anything. It doesn't take into consideration any sort of other market events happening. Supply issues. They didn't print enough of the set, so nobody can actually get it. Or they printed so much of the set that, it's not what we need. That nobody wants it, right? It's that old Alluvian Constellas. Beautiful looking card. Again, go back and watch the art video after this. Finish this one first. Go back and watch it. This guy's up there too. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful card. If you don't have one yet, they're super cheap. Just pick one up. It's a gorgeous looking card. Get that over there. So yeah, supply issues. Any other overall market conditions, right? Whether you're in a recession or not, or you know, the market's booming and the game is booming and all sorts of amazing things are happening. Hype is another big thing. So, or you could say black swan events. Even just a few weeks ago, right? A month ago, I don't remember what happened. A video came out, somebody well known in the Fab community talking about how they've been buying up Marvel Dragons and enjoying doing that, buying them up to hold on to them. Thought they were at a good price. Kind of showed a rather sizely collection of pieces he'd picked up. And what happens within a few days of that, or hours, I guess I didn't fully watch, check. But the prices went up on all of them, right? There was a pretty decent swing on those, you know, for a hot second. They were a little bit harder to find. And of course, now if you go back and look, they're pretty much back to where they were, if not a little bit lower, even. If you just waited it out a little bit, if you didn't grab onto that immediate hype, get a little bit better of a price. But that all goes back to why you're grabbing it in the first place at the top of what we talked about. Because you know what, if you're investing and you're literally going to hold on to it for 5 years, 10 years, and that's really what you think is going to happen with it, you know, of course, you would prefer to get it at the absolute cheapest price, a cloak. A cloak. Go ahead, go back, watch the art video. Every time I get one of those, I'm going to tell you, go back, watch the art video. But not helpful for us today. Not helpful for us today, other than to mention that. What was I saying? Yeah, but if you're investing for 5 years, you know, obviously you want to get the lowest price. But if you miss it by 5, 10, 15%, you know, if your investment, like if that's really what it relies on, it's probably not, at the end of the day, going to be an amazing investment anyways. Right? Now, of course, if you bought Monarch at 500 and and it came down from that, then yeah, that, I mean, now it's at 100 or whatever less, yeah, that matters. But, you know, whether or not you got your cold foil Marvel, whatever dragon, for 150 or 170 or 180, you know, end of the day, a few years down the road, probably not a big deal. Probably not a big deal. If it's still in that price range, it, you know, whether or not you lost or gained $20 is whatever. You know, if it goes up to 300, you're not going to care. If it goes down to 50, you're also not going to care that much. You know, you're just going to be really sad that it's at 50. Silent stilettos, that is very disappointing. That's our second one in the case, or sorry, yeah, in the case, and second common cold foil of box 4 here. Box number 72. It does not look like we're making any progress here on Master Set Madness. Yeah, so what does that mean? Like, I just talked through all those things, but I didn't tell you exactly when to time the market. And that's, believe it or not, kind of part of the point, right? Is there is not one specific point that is the best time to market for every single person, every single place on the road, right? You inflame extended art. You really can't, like, you can't discount all of the variables that can come in there, those little variables I mentioned at the end, right? If there were no variables like that, it would be much easier, though I would still say very difficult to time the market. You're not going to get it right 100% of the time. But okay, so going back, thinking through that cycle, go back to the top. So you're a player and you just want to play, right? But you need the cards to kind of play right away. Well, you got to buy the cards when you need them for the big event that you're going to. So it doesn't really matter what the price is. You just kind of need it, or you need to decide that, well, I don't need to go to that event, or don't need to play that certain deck. That's just the way that it is. If you want to play in big events early on in a release cycle, you're going to be paying a premium for cards. And in general, unless of course you've picked just all the really awesome ones, you're going to be losing some money as you hold on to them, and you don't get the best time in the market. If you're somebody who just wants to play them at home and you can wait, probably better to just wait. This is the last pack, the very, very last pack. And I promise we'll continue the conversation. But last pack, did we lose all of our money? Did we lose all of our money? We did. We did lose all of our money. And this would be the point where I would pause, check the prices on these cards. But I've been doing so much selling in the last couple days to try and, I guess, buy this box or case that I'm not going to waste the time. Anyways, so like looking at these 3 cards right here, had I purchased or had I opened this box really early on in Uprising, it wouldn't have been terrible, right? Like it would have not been a great case compared to some other cases we've seen, right? Triple Crowns, that's what I like to see. But right now, even though you get 2 legendaries and a Marvel Dragon, it's like, whoop-de-doo, $60, $70. That's a lot less than the actual case, right? That's like pretty bad. Pretty bad. So time in the market, if you're a player and you just want to play with the illusionist stuff and you want to have this fun thing, hope you didn't buy it in the first week, right? Hopefully you waited and till now and you can get it now, right? But if you really needed it for an event at the beginning, yeah, you paid a higher price for it. You had to do it. Same thing with Illuvian and most of the other cards. You go through this Majestic pile, even Erase Face. Just a couple weeks ago, Erase Face was going for 11, 12, $13. Now it's down to $7. People want to pay $6 for it on Facebook or different things. This guy here is like what, $2.50, $2.60 TCG player. The value of like every single card in this pile has just gone down. Down. Some of them might go up, maybe. I'm not going to speculate on anything in that pile. Let me know if you are. I do want to know. Then maybe I'll change my mind. But anyways, yeah. So if you don't care, like if you're patient, if you can be a patient player, wait. Just wait. There will be a couple of cards that people realize they're sleeping on, like, oh, that was a super awesome card. Should have got that even, before everybody figured out that was good. But generally the reason that happens is because nobody knows it's going to be that good. And which probably means you didn't know either at that point. And the amount of cards that do that just go up compared to the amount of cards that go down, the risk reward, it's much better in general just to wait if you're a player. Now, if you're a seller, right? If you're a seller who's trying to make your business by selling singles that you open from your shop, if you crack this box open, you wanted to do that pre-release day, have it up listed, ready to go, trying to sell pre-releases right away that first week, get the best sales you can do. Of course, you don't have to throw everything out the first day because, again, some cards are going to tick up. And so you put a couple up out there, see if the prices go up or down, list a couple more after you've sold. As per usual, you should never put your entire inventory out at the same time, unless it's like your last card, right? Last card or two. But yeah, you want to get moving right away. Now with flipping cards, like the card flippers, timing the market is everything, right? If you don't time it correctly, if you're buying cards at the beginning of a release cycle, hoping that in a couple weeks you're going to flip it, it's possible, right? It's possible that you picked up some of those Marvel Dragons pre the spike and then sold a bunch after the spike. But if you missed it, right, you didn't time it right, you weren't paying attention, you were doing something else, you thought, oh, I'm going to hold on a little bit longer. Well, now you missed it again and you're back to what you paid before or less, right? So super difficult. Really, if you want to do that, it's almost the same thing. You got to kind of wait. You really want to wait to see some things settle. And of course, there's the things, if you're getting cards for, 50% of the market price and you're flipping it right away, whatever, that's a different story. This is more talking about you're buying it, you want to hold it for a little bit, kind of more that timing aspect. If you're doing 2 transactions within a 24-hour period, 48-hour period, yeah, things change, but in general, you're probably doing okay. And again, if you're the investor, kind of the same thing for everybody else who wants to buy cards. Just wait a little bit longer. The price on most of them will go down. And the reason it goes down is because most people get what they want early on. They hang on to it. They decide they don't want it later. They try and sell it again. Yeah, price comes down. And when the new shinies come out, right, everybody's thinking about Dynasty right now. I don't know how many people are actually opening Uprising. Definitely not as many as there were in release week. I don't know how many Master Set Madnesses are out there. Probably just me. I know there's some other people who are cracking tons of stuff. But yeah, that's the way to go. It's better in general with these in your perfect, nice little cycle to wait a little bit, be patient. And the real challenge with it, again, like I said, is that honestly, it's not as much fun, right? Like this case opening release week, much more exciting. A couple weeks before Dynasty, much less exciting. Now, unless of course something crazy happens with one or both of those cards, open this up before the next set after Dynasty, it's even less exciting, right? So the longer you go, the worse it kind of gets. And then, yeah. And then of course sealed's a whole different game because sealed stuff holds its value. Well, it can, unless it's super overprinted, holds its value a lot better than the cards within it. And eventually the prices diverge. Sealed prices stay high or grow, and the single prices can continue to decline. Anyways, a lot of you know that. You already know that. You're still sticking around here. You are amazing. You're awesome. You watch Master Set Madness. You've seen all the way through box 72. If you haven't seen everything else yet, go back and watch some more. Do it before Dynasty comes because I know you're kind of not going to look back then. Master Set Madness Dynasty is coming. It will, I believe, as long as everything goes well, be happening right away, beginning with release week. So we're going to be hitting that beginning spot excitement, and hopefully I'll be selling some of these things at a better time, right? So thanks you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this, what I got wrong with timing the market. Of course, this is, it could be a much longer conversation than this. Try to do it within opening 4 boxes and didn't even quite make that. So let me know what you think. Are you somebody who tries to time the market? Are you somebody who just plays the game and who doesn't care, right? That's something actually I was going to mention too, is a lot of people, when I was a kid playing games, I didn't care about timing the market. I just saw a set, saw some new cards, wanted to open it, wanted to play it, have fun. And that's what a lot of people want to do, right? Not everybody out there is thinking, how do I get the very cheapest rainbow foil double strike I can get, right? That's not everybody's goal. And that's totally okay. And so if you just want to have fun, enjoy the game, open some boxes, play with it, don't ever even think about selling it for the rest of your life, do it. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, breakfast, lunch, supper, dinner, party time, whatever you're doing. Peace. We'll talk to you next time.